How about yourself?
Are you reading from a script?
That's what it sounds like, doesn't it? Hey, Hoss, I'm just great.
That's better. All right, take two.
I don't have a script. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, sir. It's nice to have you back in town. For our listeners, Mike has been out and about. You've been traveling along the countryside. I don't know if it's along the countryside, but within the countryside or someplace. You went to Colorado.
To the mountainside as well because
Yeah, you did.
we did go to Colorado.
And that's awesome.
Yeah,
Great place to
spent
go.
some time with folks, in-laws, and my daughters. And yeah, it was a good trip. But I'm glad to be back.
Well, hey, I'm real glad to have you back because the work has been piling up, and you need to get busy. All right.
Well, I'm going to do my best to help you get caught up.
Thank you. Hey, I wanted to start off the show with a little rant, just because I've got to get it out of my system. But as you know, and if our listeners don't know this, I think that's pretty cool. We just started another new show, a little bit different than I've ever done before, but something that I realized I should have done a long time ago. But now starting at about midnight, we change the music quite a bit, and it becomes a very soft, sultry type of music that will either allow you to maybe go to sleep a little quicker and stay asleep a little longer. Yep, that means you can just have your computer on all night long. And, if you don't have any external speakers, I would encourage you to get some. They're really inexpensive, and hook them up and just leave it on all night. It doesn't cost you anything. We'll pick up the tab. But anyway, from about midnight, and I say about, and I'll cover that here in just a second, from about midnight to 6 a.m., we play commercial-free, totally uninterrupted, really nice, quiet sounds. Right now, we're calling it, what do we call it? Sleepy
time?
Sleepy time with the heat.
Yeah, we do need to change that.
Yeah, we're going to change that. Sleeping with the heat, maybe.
There you go.
But anyway, we'll come up with a name, or maybe we have a contest.
Sleeping with the heat on.
Do what?
Sleeping with the heat on.
Oh, it's perfect as we move into fall and winter. All right.
Exactly.
Sorry, folks. We already have a winner.
But we should still
no contest.
We should
you lose.
Still have a contest. Yeah? I think we could give away $100,000.
Oh, I was saving that. We need to get a couple more sponsors before we can do that.
All right.
Because we don't have Terry Bradshaw's money to play with.
Very true.
Yeah. But anyway, so 6 o'clock, the music stops, and then we get a little history lesson every morning, 7 days a week. You will learn about, it's the same lesson. We don't expect you to be there every morning, but if you are, it's a good lesson to learn. You'll learn the history in about 3 minutes of what the Star-Spangled Banner really stands for. You'll learn why guys like Mike and myself, who are veterans, get so riled up when people take a knee for the Star-Spangled Banner and our flag.
Totally.
I encourage you, it's worth it. At least once in your life, get up by 6 o'clock, turn on kheatradio.com. If it's not already on, the best thing is just to leave it on and then wake up to it. But you'll hear this followed by a really nice rendition of the national anthem. And then we move right into our regularly scheduled programming. So I did this morning for the first time. I mean, I had heard it before because I had programmed it and we played it on our 9/11 tribute. But I'm sitting there and I'm listening to the story of how Francis Scott Key came to write the words to our national anthem. And it fired me up. And it, even though I've heard it so many times, it makes my eyes leak. It really does. It's a very moving piece. And as I said, the whole thing is done in about 3 minutes. But as I said this morning, it fired me up just because it's now football season. And I went 2 years without watching football. And I decided that the only person I was hurting was me, because the NFL was still going to do what they're going to do, whether I was a part of it or not. So last year I started watching football again. And I like watching football.
It's a great sport.
It's a great
It's
sport.
America's sport.
We've got
Say
some
what
people.
you want about baseball, Hoss, but football.
Yeah, there's something about football that just, it really gets me going. But then I'm thinking, am I going to have to watch these clowns kneel again? And the few games that I've seen, they're not even showing that on TV. So somebody's using their head.
If you want to see that stuff, go to the game, but you won't see me there.
No, and that's true.
I will not be there.
I won't go to the game. So the first email I open up this morning gives me something that really further fires me up. Now, I'm already fired up, and I read this, and I'm not going to read it verbatim because I'm not going to tell you who says it, because it doesn't matter. Because as you and I both know, we don't want to do politics on DryHeat Radio. We are trying to build an audience, not divide an audience. And the minute I say Trump, I lose half our support. The minute I say Biden, I lose half of our support. So it doesn't matter who said it, but I will tell you, and I've seen this before, and it supposedly has been fact checked. I believe the source that sent it to me. This comes from a very high-ranking political official. Doesn't matter what side of the aisle they're on. They're in a position of power and a position to know what's really going on, which the rest of us really don't have a clue. But talking about Francis Scott Key and how he came to write the national anthem and what that flag really means to the patriots of this country who have fought and bled and died for this country. These words were spoken. The United States government cannot continue to pay for every need of what has become a special class of citizen. Veterans are equal to us, not better than. Veterans Affairs coddles them. It creates a dependency upon which is not doing these former soldiers any good. They need to learn to live on their own 2 feet and be responsible adults. The easiest way to assist them on this journey is to cut them off. Within these next 4 years, we will be shuttering, closing down the VA, taking away soldier welfare. The money saved will go to better.
Excuse me. Did you just say soldier welfare?
Yes, sir. That's what this person is calling it.
Boy.
The money saved. Oh, it gets better. The money saved will go to better use in assisting refugee families. These poor folks seek asylum with us and need a boost, and it is our responsibility as a nation to provide it. So here's a message to the soldier boys. Get a job. Now that really fired me up, and it fires me up again because I would like to call this person out face to face.
Can you at least identify this person?
I didn't want to because I don't want to be political.
Well, I'm not sure this is being political.
Okay.
That's And I'm saying this because
I'm citing my source. Okay. That's our illustrious Vice President, Kamala, whatever she calls herself, Harris. She has said this.
Wow.
First of all, I mean, I don't even know where to start on this thing. But nobody has said veterans are better than anybody, certainly not the veterans. But we've asked young men and young women, kids, if you will, to go out and fight for and defend this country. And it's got to be tough.
And let me remind everybody as well, Hoss, that these are volunteers. They have not been drafted.
Right.
They have not gone into the military against their own will.
Nope.
Free will. They are volunteers.
Yep.
They come home with holes in them, with things they have seen that will never leave their brains.
Yeah.
That will keep them awake for the rest of their lives.
Amen.
And those are the lucky ones.
Yeah, they at least got home.
So
there's a lot of them that have not come home.
Kamala Harris to say this and to even suggest that they do away with the VA.
Yeah.
After what all veterans have sacrificed, whether they've passed away, died in service, killed in action, or have died as a result of Agent Orange, like those of us who have served in our time. How dare she just brush us aside?
Yeah.
And think of us as, I'm not saying we're any better than anybody else, but we have earned our way.
Absolutely.
Those people who are crossing our borders, as an example, they've not earned their way. They're not patriots. Many of them cross our borders, don't even like this country other than what it gives them.
Yeah, absolutely. They like our handouts.
Yeah.
And I don't fault them for that. I would too if I were in their position. But I've got so many questions about what's going on in Texas right now with the thousands of immigrants trying to get into this country. And most of them are from Haiti. Yeah. Now, excuse me, how the hell did they get from Haiti to Texas if they have nothing? And they don't look any worse for the wear.
No.
I mean, folks, we're being played. Not just by the Democrats, we're being played by both sides. Because right now, all the Republicans are doing, here we go, politics, I apologize, but all the Republicans are doing is giving lip service. And that's all they ever do. Abraham Lincoln said, a house divided cannot stand. That's exactly what's going on right now. The government, Republicans and Democrats, are working together to get us divided, keep us divided, so they only have to deal with half of us.
Yeah.
People, you need to understand this. This is horrendous. It really is. I could go on and on and on, but it's not going to solve anything. But I'm
trying to figure out a way or process that we could use to solve it, because it's not through our elected officials, because they do not have the heart of the American citizen in mind.
No, of course not, because they're getting paid.
They are getting paid.
These people who are making $174,000 a year or whatever, which is way too much money, because they're only working part-time. I don't know how many days are actually in session. And granted, after that, they're supposed to be working their own
districts,
areas.
Yeah.
But basically, it's still a part-time job. I'm sorry. prove me wrong, Kamala. Prove me wrong. Come on and prove me wrong. She's definitely working part-time. If she's even working. I mean, you just never see her. But in any case, I think what we can do, the only thing that we can do is continue to expose crap like this and make people aware. You know, I'm not trying to take sides. I'm not trying to play politics. The whole system is against us. And we've got a show that we've already recorded. We're trying to spice it up with some video. And as soon as that happens, we will announce it. We will air. This show is with a guy that we've talked about many times, Jimmy Graham, former Navy SEAL Jimmy Graham, who is one of the classiest guys I know, without a doubt. Very well spoken. And Mike asked him a question at the end of the interview. And I think you said basically what you just said. What can we do?
Right.
His answer shocked me. Absolutely shocked me. And I think it's the best answer. I'm not sure that it's what's going to happen, though. We also have, Mike and I also have, and I don't want to mention any names yet, but we have an appointment with a former United States congressman this coming Wednesday, who has a name that is extremely well known throughout the country.
That's for sure.
He's already agreed to do a show, so we're gonna work out the details on Wednesday. And then I think we have a pretty good shot of getting this guy to do his own show. I want to make sure that he is willing to abide by, I don't want to say rules that we've established, but guidelines that we've established. Because I don't want finger pointing. Because, you know, when you point the finger, there's 4 more that are coming right back to you. Well, 3. And a thumb. Thumb's kind of going up in the air. It's kind of weird. Anyway, no finger pointing.
That's going to be hard.
It
That's
is
going to be hard.
It is hard, but maybe what, you know, we have a friend of ours. Well, he used to be a friend. So I'm not even going to mention his name. Current mayor of a city in Colorado. And one of the rules that he adopted many years ago when he was a mayor is he told he told the what do they call them? The representatives, the town council, told them, all right, you want to bring new laws on the books? That's fine. But for every law you bring on the book, you got to take one off. So maybe we do something. If we in fact call somebody out, we call out a Democrat, we need to call out a Republican as well. And that's going to be easy to do.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because again, it's not just one side. They in Washington would like us to think it's one side so that we start fighting ourselves. And the war should not be a civil war. We should not be fighting each other. If there's going to be a war, it needs to be a revolutionary war. Listen to the story about the national anthem and you'll know what I'm talking about. If it doesn't grip you, then maybe it'd be good for you to just turn on cartoons and watch that. But anyway, I will stop. I thought I would get it off my chest and feel better. I'm ready to go out and smack somebody though. I really am.
Well, today's a tough world.
It is.
We are fighting amongst ourselves. Our politicians, our elected officials are fighting amongst themselves. We do have good leaders out there.
Yeah, that's not just, yeah. And thank you for bringing that up,
Well,
because I didn't mean to insinuate that everybody's bad. They're just outnumbered. The good guys and the good women are outnumbered. And, fortunately, in all of this, one good thing has happened. And that is the capture and arrest of Jeffrey Epstein. And with all the documentation that they were able to get, they know, who went to his fantasy island and
File.
and who all the perverts are. And thank God, they've all been arrested. They've all been tried. They've been sentenced to prison. They've been exposed. Or did I dream that?
All of them? I think you were dreaming, Haas. I'm not sure one of them had been arrested.
You're actually right. They haven't even been named yet.
Exactly.
And why is that? Because there's possibly big name politicians on both sides of the aisle that have gotten caught up in that.
Yeah, just taking a wild guess.
Yeah. And again, if I'm not right, then somebody prove me wrong. Please. Bill Clinton, our lines are open. In fact, I actually have a phone number for Bill Clinton. I'm going to reach out to him. We'll get him here in the next couple of weeks. You laugh, you watch. I will have Bill Clinton on the phone, and we'll ask him about Jeffrey Epstein. And let's put him on the spot. I think, I've been wanting to call him anyway, only because I have his phone number. I don't have anybody else's phone number, but I have his phone number. So I'm going to call him. We're going to set it up, and we're going to ask him some tough questions. Let's see what he has to say. But it's
chances are you're going to get his voicemail.
No, I actually,
excuse me,
early on, before we went on the air, not today, but before we went on the air, June 1st of this year, I did reach out to him and ask if he would be willing to be a guest. I wanted to find out if phone number still worked. He said he would be delighted to be a guest. I said, okay. So now that's what I want to talk to him about.
Okay.
And then see where it goes. We'll talk about other things too. But I want to start with Epstein's Island and the rumors that abound.
I'd like to see the list.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of seeing stuff, what the hell's going on with the election audit? This has been almost a year.
What election audit?
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny.
Well, and I'm sure the Democrats, when I say Democrats, I mean not politicians, but our friends who are Democrats, they're laughing their butts off. And they're saying, I told you so. Nothing happened. There was nothing illegal about those elections. It was all fair and square and all this stuff. And you people, you Trumpers, you're smoking dope to think that you're crying over spilled milk. You're, whatever. To think that the elections were fixed and were bad. Well, you know what? It's looking like they're right, because I have not heard any results from any of the elections.
Well, they were given deadlines, Haas, as you know, here in Arizona to have this completed and turned in, and it's not even been closed.
No.
More than one deadline.
Yeah.
And what's happening, to my knowledge, is the left is refusing to cooperate and the right is refusing to push. Here we are. Our expectations as a citizen of Arizona are expecting this stuff to be done.
Yeah.
We have paid for this to be done more times than anybody could ever believe.
Yeah.
Why isn't it being done? Why don't we have somebody from the right, pushing.
Well, I thought the whole thing, at least in Arizona, the audit was being conducted by an unbiased third party.
I'm going to drink my Pepsi.
Yeah, go ahead, take a swig, because I don't understand. I mean, if the election is held today, we have a final count within 24 hours, and usually a lot sooner than that.
Well, usually or typically we would know by the time the polls are closing who the front runner is.
Oh, absolutely.
And through straw votes or whatever votes they want to call them, we would know roughly who the winner is. And it's usually and typically a close margin.
Yeah.
But it'd be verified the next day.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually you can wake up the next morning and there are the headlines. Your candidate won or he or she lost.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's not 24 hours. It's usually 6 hours or so.
Yeah.
But it's just, I've got to believe there's other people out there that believe what I believe and what you believe, that we're being played. And it's time, I think, for a call to action, not words anymore. We need a call to action. Put up or shut up. Get out of the way.
Could we go sit on the steps of the state capitol? Perhaps.
Yeah, perhaps.
We could be joined by a few of our fellow, I'm not going to say Republicans, conservatives.
We could be joined by our fellow patriots.
That's
because I think there's some Democrat patriots out there too. Yeah, yes. And I'll bet the Legion Riders would meet us down there. We could get several biker groups down there.
Yeah.
And all we need to do is attract enough to get mainstream media forced to cover it. And we just need, it's time for the answers. It really is, on the audit, on a lot of things.
Are we Americans being just too polite? Are we being too ignorant to not challenge?
That's the question. Yeah.
To not challenge our officials.
Yeah.
Carrie Lake was just here in the community where I live. Unfortunately, I was out of town.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have had 5 minutes with her.
Absolutely.
And just to talk about these things. I know we have talked recently in some of our shows that we're going to petition her to actually come on our show as a guest.
Well, and with what we're working on right now, I think we'll have a good shot. I really do. Just because, and to let people know, we can all take a breath here. We're working on some things that we may have to change our name from K-Heat Radio to K-Heat Radio and TV, because we're going to start broadcasting and replaying video so that you can put a face to the voice, and we can do it easily, just because the way we're set up. We do all of our shows on Zoom. So right now, Mike and I are about 20 miles apart. Last week, we recorded a show. I was in Arizona, he was in Colorado, and the third member was in Louisiana. And yet I'm sitting here looking at my screen, seeing the other two people. Mike is seeing myself and the other person. I mean, we're all being able to see each other. It's just like being in a studio.
And we've been in studio.
And we've been in studio. Like. So yeah. So when I say it's just like being in studio, it really is.
Yeah, I love studio.
Yeah. Oh, I do too. If we can get our new sponsor, Peoria Ford, I can't say that name yet, but if we can get them to, maybe they have an extra room, we could just broadcast from them
We better talk to him.
Yeah, we probably ought to. But the thing is, it's a great way to do it. It actually helps us get even more guests because they don't have to be within a 10 or 20 mile driving range to the station. They can be any place on the planet, and we can reach out to them and we can do a show. So that's what we're starting to do. I mean, we're still a brand new radio station.
Yes,
And I'm trying to compare it to Mile High Radio as it was before I moved back to Arizona. I mean, we at one point were the second fastest growing radio station, internet radio station in the country, second only to Pandora. And I'm trying to get us there. And I forgot it took several years for us to get to that point. But folks, we're going to be there. And welcome to the ride, because it's going to be a fun one. But you're going to be able to see all of our guests and to make sure that, although I don't know, we may not be able to show Bill Clinton. I've heard he does not do Zoom.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But anyway, it's going to be obvious that it's him. You know, nobody sounds like Bill Clinton other than Bill Clinton. But anyway, but we'll talk about that. So I think I feel better, but there's more of that.
You look better. And I can say that now because everybody can see you. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. I am going to tell you right now, I will probably not shave for
Ever?
our show. I'm not going to wear a tie. So if anybody's expecting formal mic, it's not going to happen.
No.
I mean, I'm lucky to comb my hair. I will brush my teeth.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay.
But I am excited about where we're going with our show.
I am too.
Where we're going with our station.
When we first talked about, we ought to do our own radio station. I forgot how hard it was, or how much. It's not hard. I forgot how much work was involved, especially going from ground zero to where we want to go. It's turned into a full-time job. But, with the direction we're going right now, what I'm going to try and do is, as we get advertisers, and we do have a couple of them coming on board, we're going to try and keep our advertisers on our website and keep all of our programming and music commercial free. I think that has a nice ring to it. But basically, the listeners are going to be able to listen to our show. If you're on a cell phone, there's basically two ways to connect. You can either connect to us with a mobile device or with a computer. If you connect to us with a mobile device, you'll be able to listen to our music and listen to our shows. If you connect to us via a computer, you will very soon, within the next, I won't put a timetable on it, but I'm thinking week.
Pretty aggressive, buddy.
You got nothing going on, right?
Right.
But within the next short period of time, you'll be able to not only, I missed Mike and Haas. That was on Monday at 9:00 or whatever time. But you'll be able to listen to the current show and watch the current show whenever you want to. Just by going to the website, clicking on our picture, bam, there it is. And then we're also going to be setting up a YouTube channel. And my hopes there is that that's where we can archive all of our shows. So if you missed one 3 weeks ago, you'll be able to go there, scroll down. There it is. Click on it and watch us and listen to us.
Yeah, let me give our listeners the web page info. To get on and access our web page, you will need to go to www.kheatradio.com. Once you get in, just hit that listen live. But before you even do that, just scroll on down and
Yeah.
check out our webpage. We've
Yeah,
got a
'cause
lot
there's-
of things off there, and we have descriptions of our shows, our schedules. Have a
we
couple
have other
little
shows
surprises.
on there
We do.
that aren't even on the radio. We have some
Yeah.
comedy specials on there that we're not broadcasting.
Hey,
So
Abbott.
there's all kinds, yeah, there's all kinds of fun things on there that the only way you're going to see it and listen to it is by going on the website.
How many Rodney fans do we have out here?
Got me. I love Rodney.
Yeah.
Talking about Mr. Dangerfield.
Yes, we are. We have a quick link to him and his shows with Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
If you want to sit there and laugh your tail off for a bit,
Yeah.
just click the arrow.
And we've also got some TED Talks on there. If you don't know what TED Talks are, go to the website, click on it. You'll learn something that will make your day better. I guarantee it.
And,
So there's just a lot of stuff going on. We're not your daddy's radio station.
we would be amiss if we missed Go Terry Go. If you go to the show page and you scroll down a little bit, you'll see Terry Simmons, Go Terry Go. Check her out.
Yeah.
She is awesome.
Yeah, she
So,
is.
Check out Go Terry Go.
She'll brighten your day.
You can do that on YouTube as well. Pull her up, check her out.
Absolutely.
She's our dear friend from Louisiana, Bossier,
Yeah.
which is really close to Shreveport,
Yeah.
which is really close to Natchitoches.
That's
Now-
what I've heard.
Tried to spell it. You would not. Natchitoches is not anybody from Natchitoches knows how to spell it
And say it.
and say it.
Because if you saw the spelling, you would not say Natchitoches.
No, you would not. So there's
Say
a
St.
challenge.
Louis.
That would be the challenge for the week. So, yeah. But anyways, we do have a lot of fun things out there on there, and we keep changing them and adding fun stuff to our website, and try to make it as enjoyable as possible. But it's important to hit that listen live button, because that'll get you to our awesome music. We have a great playlist in between shows. It's a great playlist.
Yeah, we're approaching 400 songs in our playlist. Nobody does that. Average station's got 35, maybe 40 songs on their playlist that loops all day long. Well, that's fine for the casual listener who's listens for 20, 30 minutes and then goes away. But we'd kind of like to give you something that if you're working it from home, you can just turn on a computer. You can have this playing in the background. If you're doing Zoom calls, they'll never hear it. That's one nice thing about, doing what we're doing right now. Any sound has got to be really, really close to that microphone for it to even pick up. I live in the landing pattern of Luke Air Force Base, and the jets that come in a couple times a day, they come in pretty low, right directly over my house, unless they're a new pilot, and then they could be off a few hundred yards. But most of them come right over my house, and there's times I can't even hear. But yet I can be doing a show, and Mike can't hear them at all. So you can have K-Heat Radio on in the background while you go about your day. And it's just really cool.
I must apologize to some of our listeners, though.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I really want to. It's a heartfelt apology. We will not play any rap music. So,
What?
those of you out there who are insisting on hearing rap, you may have to find another channel,
Yeah.
because if we ever spin that, I'm going to leave it at that. We will never spin that.
No, but if you're not sure where you can hear rap, just drop us a line and we will tell you where to go.
You'll hear a lot of patriotic music, a lot of oldies because we're obviously old.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't understand this oldies stuff. This is top 40. It used to be anyway.
Well, it was back in 1965.
Yeah, that's true. But no, we blend some oldies with some more recent country. And we even do some of the old country. I try and stay away from the twangy stuff. I've just never gotten into that. No offense, because I know he's big in Arizona, but we don't play Buck Owens. I think Buck was a great guy, but just a little too twangy. But we'll play Willie, we'll play Chris, we'll play some of the other. We'll play the Highwaymen, if you will. Now there's four guys.
Good. They're good.
They are very good. They're great together and they're great separately. So we'll play their stuff as well. So it's a little bit of everything. Well, not everything. A little bit of a lot for you.
I would like to ask our listeners if anybody out there would like to hear the Sons of the Pioneers. Please let us know, because I am a fan of the Sons of the Pioneers.
Yeah,
I used to play in a cowboy band.
Mike
Colorado.
needs, the rule is you got to have at least 10 supporters, to add music. So Mike needs 9 people to email him so he can bring it to the board of directors. And once 9 people will do that, then we may do that. Maybe at 2:30 in the morning. But no, I can't even do that now because we've got Sleeping with the Heat.
Yeah. Maybe a Sunday special.
Maybe.
We have
do it right after
radio.
church.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another thing we're looking for. We've got, I believe it's from 8 to 10 on Sunday morning. We've got 2 hours blocked off for some praise music that I'm real happy with. It's feel good stuff. It's Christian based. But you know what I'd really like? I'd like to be able to put in like about a 20-minute worship service in there. I was going to say sermon, but not every
could be
church.
Do the same.
Well, they are. But sermon sounds like, oh, yawn, but you know what I mean. I would like a about a 20, maybe 30-minute worship service. I'm Facebook friends with several ministers, and I'm going to reach out to them and see if they maybe have a podcast that we could insert. And if so, then that would be awesome. But again, I want it's got to be upbeat. It's got to be positive. I'm not really into hell and damnation. The big guy has already paid for my sins. That doesn't mean that I don't have to repent.
Personally, I kind of like that.
Well, get 9 other people to agree with you. And you say,
Where did you come up with this 9?
I just made it up because I'm chairman of the board.
I
just made that up too.
We like certain music, certain genres, certain things we'd like to put in our shows. And, I'm all for praise, and, to listen to somebody talk to me about it is a good thing too.
Yep.
And I do like the Sons of the Pioneers.
Take it to the board. It's all good. How are we doing on time, brother?
Well, you know what? We're getting close to our allowed limit, which we set the allowed limit.
Yeah.
And when we start running out of things to talk about, we get a little goofy. But still, the show goes on.
Whether it's good or not.
Whether it's good or not. No, I am excited about where we're going, Hoss.
I am
with
too,
our
man.
show, and of course with Terry Simmons, bringing her on board where we can actually do YouTube with her, podcast with her. in our show, making tracks. It's exciting.
Yeah, some fun things. We talked every now and then. We talked about doing video at Mile High Radio, and it was so cumbersome to do. In fact, I even went out and I bought cameras just so we could do it. But then I realized, boy, the cameras are just the tip of the iceberg. You need recording software, and you need this, and you need that. And this is just 10 years ago.
And what was the first thing you told me when you thought about doing that?
I would pay you $1 million if you'd help.
No. What you said,
you forgot that. Okay, good.
If we put you on video, you have to wear a tie.
Oh, yeah. I said that?
Yes, you did.
Oh, wait, but that was in Colorado. That's when marijuana was legal. So that's probably, not that I would do it, but there was probably things in the air that.
Okay.
No, I will never make you to wear a tie, because then you would expect me to wear a tie. I'm not even going to wear a tie at my own funeral. I guarantee it.
Well, when I retired from my past jobs, I gave away all of my ties. Well, I sold them at a garage sale.
You say a Mai Tai tastes really good right now.
Oh, yeah. Better than this Pepsi. But I had over 100 ties.
I've got a bunch too. I don't have that many, but I have a bunch, but I still have them. I don't know why.
I've got 3 of them.
Do you? I know what you're getting for Christmas.
I cut 3 out of the herd and sold the rest. Oh, no, please, no ties for Christmas.
But that could be great for
wide ones.
That could be
wide ones, 70s.
Yeah, wide ones are good. The local people here would know the wide ties, because we had a TV personality, a dear, sweet man named Ladmo, that always wore a wide tie. Wallace and Ladmo, kid show, longest running kid show in the history of television, happened right here in Phoenix, Arizona. And it was brilliantly done. And yeah, Ladmo always wore a big white tie, and it was great. So yeah, I could see wearing. I just don't want anything around my neck like that. Number one, there's not many things that will fit around my neck anymore. Wow. So that's why I have this beard going, because it actually hides my triple or maybe quadruple chin. I haven't seen it for a number of years, so I'm not sure what it's doing other than getting bigger. But anyway, but yeah, tune in. And as I said, hopefully in the next week or so, you'll be able to see us and see our guests. And if you'd like to be on a show, if you'd like to host a show, talk to us, because the time is right now. We've got some specials going on. When I first got into radio back in Colorado, I became a co-host on an AM station, and we did a 2-hour show once a week. And our cost, and this was back in 2004, 5, maybe 6, somewhere around there, 2005, 2006. Our cost to do that show was $400 an hour.
Wow.
Cost us $800 a week, so we could go down there and crack some jokes and talk about mortgage lending, which we did that maybe 20 minutes out of the 2 hours, because after 20 minutes, what else can you say? It's boring. It really is. But, we did some crazy stuff there. We really did. We had fun, and that morphed into starting Castle Rock Radio. That morphed into Mile High Radio, and that has morphed into the creme de la creme, kheatradio.com. And we're going to take this station to places that I don't think any radio stations have ever gone to. They may not even want to go there.
The desert's one of them. Look at
that. But yeah, we're gonna have some fun with it. But normally when you do a talk show, there's a charge to it. And at Mile High Radio, it was basically $400 a month um, which was a deal compared to $400 an hour, because you got a show once a week for a month for a total of $400. Guess what? It's a whole bunch cheaper than that at K Heat Radio right now.
$4.
$4. Because that's
Because
what we
we're
can
working in a series of 4.
we can buy a big Bud Light in the aluminum can for $4. So that's all we need.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you are interested in doing a show, or you know somebody, and that's how we got this appointment coming up on Wednesday with a former U.S. congressman. One of our listeners contacted us and said, "Hey, I know a guy, and would you be interested in talking to him?" And we said, "Well, who's your guy?" She told us. We said, "Oh, hell yes. Big name, folks. Big name." I'm excited. I really am. So that's how you grow the radio station. It's not just me. It's not just Mike. Not even the two of us working together. It's all of us. You, the listeners, have got to be a part of this. You don't like something we're doing? Get 9 of your friends to agree with you. And no, no, just tell us what you'd rather hear.
Yeah.
And hey, if it makes sense, let's do it. Why not? So, but if you know somebody or you want to host a show, please, please, please let us know. Either send an email to Hoss at kheatradio.com or Mike at kheatradio.com. We need to put that back on the website.
Yes,
That
we
got
do.
taken off, but we'll get that back on so that you can contact either one of us or both of us, and we'll be more than happy to give you personal replies back. We're not going to have our assistants or even our assistants to the assistants contact you. It will be us,
Directly.
the big guys.
Very true. All right, my friend.
It's been fun.
It's been awesome. And you know what? We typically close out our show by saying, "See ya."
Yeah.
So let's come up with something else.
Okay. Get 9 of your friends to agree with that, and we can do that.
I was waiting for you to say that. So, hey, until next week, buddy.
See ya.
See ya.